Okay.
Live.
Now, okay, we're live. All right. Welcome, everyone. All right. This is
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. Good evening. Everyone, this is the Three Marketeers Show. Yet again, another one. This is episode 52. Hey, Manfred, do your thing. 52. Okay, now that marks 1 year. Okay. We have been doing this, the Three Marketeers Show. So if this is the first time you see us, this is what we do in the past 1 year, every Wednesday night. Three guys plus sometimes a woman, sometimes a guy like what we have today, Keng Teck. We just chit chat and without knowing, like he said himself, I didn't say oh man, but nonetheless, later we'll let him. So this is what we've been doing for the past 1 year. The Three Marketing Show mainly discuss things about digital marketing and advertising, and we've been doing this for a year now. If you want to really find out who are the people that we have interviewed in the past 1 year, you can actually go back to my YouTube channel or my Facebook page to actually dig out all the things. But nonetheless, if this is the first time you see us, we welcome you to the family. This is what we do. And to actually celebrate episode 52, we have a very heavyweight guest over here. But before we introduce our guest, okay, I don't want to forget our wisdom guy. There are two purple color on top, right?
Yes.
Okay, except Keng Teck. Okay, we have Manfred. Manfred started turn purple, I think, in the episode of 48, right? I can't remember already. Previously, for all the episodes in the past, he's always in green.
Yellow man.
And out of sudden, he grew this like a little bit of the gray hair in front of him.
Forgot to dye lah.
He said forgot to dye lah, but I think he purposely dyed white lah. Anyway, so
no, the supply ran out already.
just to make himself stand out a little bit lah. But that's what we do anyway. So that's Manfred from Singapore. Manfred is our researcher in chief. That's the guy who actually do all the questions. Sometimes, guys, if you feel difficult question, then it came from the guy, and that's Manfred. And beside me, there's Andrew. Andrew is our email guy. This is the guy who actually bring us a lot of times a very interesting guest. But today, I brought this guest to our show today. Keng Teck is somebody that I have met. I think we met each other 11 years ago. When I first started my business, we shared the stage together, and this guy never changed, since. He hasn't changed a bit except the gray.
You were just a kid then.
I was actually going there to actually doing all the banner thing you're doing when you're doing the
Boy Scout thing, get a chop.
Yeah, do the Boy Scout thing. So I was in Penang, and he came to Penang at that point of time. So that since then he was all about branding and branding. But today, I want to introduce Keng Teck from various angles. First thing first, Keng Teck is the managing consultant of BeSphere, which is one of the longest standing, branding consultancy in the industry. And then he's also, the most respected SME branding expert and the most influential global marketing leader recognized by World Marketing Congress. Big shot.
Now
over
you can
here.
add the most lang chai.
Most lang chai branding consultant.
Most
for the aunties. Yes. Yeah, I didn't know. I'm not sure whether we have aunties joining us today, but nonetheless.
All lang loi over there. All lang loi here.
All lang loi, right? Okay, fine. So, but Keng Teck is also the national VP of the SME Association of Malaysia. And that's the reason why we want to bring him here to discuss something very interesting, because the topic today is about how the government is playing a role in helping the digitalization of SME. But nonetheless, we want to really give a bit of round of applause to Keng Teck. And Keng Teck, please share with us a little bit something that if I missed, right? Share with us a bit about your experience, what have you done in the past many years, and, a bit about yourself. Yeah.
Yep. Hi, everyone. Thank you very much. Thank you, Jason, for inviting me. Long time no see. Always looking at him, guiding people on the Facebook, and I'm very poor in the Facebook. Now, a little bit about myself. Well, let's not talk about childhood days. Basically,
childhood,
no, not childhood. Okay. Before I met Jason, basically I was in a reality show before. Okay. Some of the older generation might remember. Okay. In US, there is an Apprentice by Donald Trump, our ex-president. Yes, okay. Yes. In Malaysia, there is a show called The Firm. Okay, in NTV7. Okay. I was in the reality show for the first series then. So, and together with Joel Neo, okay, Joel Neo was the winner. I was the third third
I
finance together with
see.
Ernie and Joel that time.
So
So
the
after that-
boss is
Student,
who? The boss is
Sorry?
Asia. This
Tony, right?
Fernandez. Tony
The
Fernandez.
firm, the firm
No,
was it?
the
No,
boss, the boss was our present finance minister.
Really?
Safro. Yes,
Oh iya ke?
yes, Tengku Safro.
Oh, that's
Tengku
interesting.
Yeah, Tengku
Interesting
Safro.
how time has
Yes,
shifted
yeah,
things,
it was
right?
it
Like
was
that.
very interesting because from the show, then you are basically forcing yourself to cooperate with your enemy. You're competing, and yet you're cooperating.
Right.
Learn a lot from there. Learn a lot from there.
Oh.
And after then, I started on Bisphere, and well, doing a lot of the SME branding, very focusing on the SMEs until today. And the last few years have been dedicated most of my time, at least one of my time, into SME Association of Malaysia, spearheading and then trying to get more benefits for the SMEs, especially during these 2 years. So attending a lot of the government agencies meetings and so forth. And right now, I'm still the steering committee and technical committee for the Industry 4.0 under the MITI side. So yeah, hopefully can bring more benefit to the SMEs. Okay.
Awesome. So, I mean, I believe talking about SME digitalization, right, is a very how do we say, it's a very deep topic and it's a very wide topic as well. You know, both vertical, horizontally, and vertically. These are all very deep things to talk about. But I think what is really important is we need to understand the definition of digitalization. So, like, that will bring us to the first question. So what is digitalization for us, for you, and for the government agency? Maybe different party will have different way of thinking about digitalization, right? I think you were laughing, you know where I'm coming from. So I would like to understand, what is digitalization for the industry as well as for the government, and what is the purpose of digitalization for SME for both sides as well? Can we actually get some insights from you on this part?
Now, in my opinion, this is my personal opinion, is that
Definitely.
for the
It doesn't represent
digitalization,
the three marketers as well, huh?
okay. yeah. Because the
Remember
word,
the contract we signed?
what contract? I didn't sign any contract. Okay, I can say anything. Now, digitalization. Okay, I think the word is too big, and a lot of people actually interpret it differently. But for
Yes.
me, digitalization is just getting your business automated, be it using your data, be it using the Industry 4 and so forth, to help you to improve your process and your marketability. I think that's all. It's nothing much on technology and so forth, because technology cannot work just with technology. You need the process, you need the people there. Okay. And the purpose of digitalization for SMEs, a lot of people say, oh, right now I'm jumping into e-commerce. It's a new way to do business. But the thing is that it is a better way to do business instead of a new way. It has been the way of doing business already. But I believe that using digitalization, you can do it, you can see it as from that to improve your products, to improve your process, and to improve your marketability. These three things to the SMEs. And depending on where you are right now and what kind of technologies or what kind of digitalization or digital transformation that you're going through, then you're going to adopt the relevant technology for you. A lot of the companies, SMEs, they're still very weak, thinking that, oh, I have to adopt technology, but they do not know how can the technology help them. A lot of them still like that for SMEs.
Oh, okay. Even after the 2 years of pandemic, I think this could be a very, very powerful wake-up call already, isn't it?
I think somehow or rather, I think Keng Teck puts it in a very nice way. Digitalization is not just about marketing, but I would say in the past 2 years, the marketing aspect of digitalization has been really stand out.
Yes.
That's the angle of it. But yeah.
But because of that, you last 2 years, just now mentioned that last 2 years you have to. Last time Malaysia attitude, okay, tunggu dan lihat. Let's I've been doing this for 40 years already. You are saying that I'm wrong. Oh, all these youngsters like Jason just come in and say Facebook is very, very good. What the hell? I don't know what is a Facebook. Okay,
I make money, you eat salt.
Yeah, correct. So they have been doing business in that way, but because of the pandemic, they need to change, and they have no choice but to change. But the question is that are they actually changing because that they can actually pivot their business or improve their competency, or they are able to use different kind of channel to do business? So it's very different. Every SMEs, for the younger generation, of course, you say that if I sell something, I go e-commerce. It's very straightforward. But Malaysia, we have 50,000 SMEs as manufacturers. A lot of them, they can't sell their products online just like everyone would buy. They are industrial products as well. So how are they going to do it? So, but they can actually digitalize their operation. But that is one part of it.
Meaning that helping using the tools or whatever platforms available to slowly digitalize their process and their operation, and to increase the competency, like what you mentioned just now. The digitalization is not just about the marketability, it's also about the competency and of course the overall growth.
Correct. Because right now you might need, during pandemic, you need 4 people. Usually you need 4 people to do the things. Right now you want to reduce your cost. Okay. You need to do it faster. You need to automate. You do not want to have a repetitive work done by any one of your staff. Because of repetitive work, it can be done by the technology. You can digitalize the process. Why not? And long-term wise, you will actually save your cost. And it is right now that the time that you need to actually to manage your cash flow, to invest in the technology. Because for me, for example, Industry 4.0, if the manufacturers doesn't go into the Industry 4.0 within these 2 years, they will fall back. Or even the retail right now, if you don't start to actually analyze your data, don't go for the IR 4.0, you will not be able to compete, because other companies, they know what is happening, what your consumer buying, where are they buying, what are they buying. But if you do not know, you cannot fulfill their needs. So we are using technology to improve it. Yeah.
Is IR 4.0 data centric? I've heard a lot.
Yes.
Yeah, I think, can you explain a little bit about the IR 4.0 or Industrial 4.0? I think it could be very beneficial for us, because to be frank, I have no clue.
We have no idea.
The thing that there's 2 parts of it. You see, there's Industry Revolution 4.0. There's Industry 4.0. Now, in Malaysia, the Industry 4.0 is very much of the terms for the manufacturing side. So we wanted to have the industrialization to the 4.0. So last time we are using manual, is Industry 1. Then basically you use the steam mechanical Industry 2. Then after that, we use machine automation is Industry 3. But machine, you do not know what is happening to your machines. Then right now, you're using data. You basically capture the data from your machine. Let's say, for example, you have your factory. From time to time, it breaks down. Do you know why is it break down? Or do you want to wait for them to break down, then when you go and tackle it? You want to know before it breaks down, there's alert already. So you must get data from it. So all this will be Industry 4.0. But IR 4.0, Industrial Revolution 4.0, is just a total concept, whereby is that as long as you are using data to analyze, the technology that enable you to use data to analyze to make decision, then it will consider as IR 4.0. That's why that it involves also on the retail, on the services, and so forth.
Right. So let's talk about whatever we are supposed to discover today, right? What are the so-called signature actions, like, in the past 2 years? What have the government done in helping both sides of this thing?
Okay. Now, let's talk about Industry 4.0. Malaysia in 2018, they launched the Industry Forward. Industry Forward is the national framework to push forward the manufacturing sector and the manufacturing related sectors towards the journey of the Industry 4.0. Okay, Industry 4.0 is not an end, it's a journey. Okay, it's a journey. You move towards that. Okay, and with this Industry Forward, they have 5 key initiatives, which is they call it as FIRST. Okay, which is financial, infrastructure, skill, regulation, and technology. Okay, these 5 things. So, for example, in terms of infrastructure, they are fiberizing most of the industrial park. okay, to get
Right.
them to up to speed. Okay, from the financial side, they give a grant. For example, in Industry Forward Intervention Fund, you can get up to 500,000 grant, which is 70%. Let's say your project is 700,000, the government come up with 500,000, you come up with 200,000 only. Okay, you come up with 30% only. So that's one of it. And then there is also readiness assessment program. A lot of SMEs, we do not know where are we. Are we 1.0, 2.0? How are we going to move to 4.0? So the SMEs can apply for a fully subsidized. It costs about 20 over thousand, fully subsidized program whereby the government will send assessor body like MIMOS, SIRIM, MARI, and so forth to go and assess where you are and propose to you what can you do for you to move on to the journey to Industry 4.0. And of course, their skill side, they are starting to formulate the skill program starting from the school level. Okay, they're starting from that. Because next time, if you don't prepare the school level, even you have the technology, no one will be able to manage the Industry 4.0 next time. So that's kind of a school level. Then after that, in terms of the uni level, they got the smart center. Then on the company's side, there are a lot of initiative training that they are giving out. So that is what Industry 4.0. Then, in terms of digitalization for the process, for the services, retail, and so forth, I'm sure that you all know that MDEC would be the forefront, will be pushing forward all these things. You have the SME digitalization grant. Recently, last 2 years, they have the MDEC SAG, okay, Smart Automation Grant, which was closed, but it was recently opened last month, and it will be closing this week. Okay.
What is that again? To be very frank, seriously, I have no clue.
Okay. Let's say you are a services
100%.
company. For you are a services company. You want to come up with an app, or you want to come out with a certain software that help you manage your way of training people. Okay. So you want to program something of it. You can actually apply through the MDEC for the Smart Automation Grant to get up to 200,000 ringgit for you to do the project. So if the project is 400,000, you can actually get 200,000.
Up to 200,000.
Up to 200,000.
Right,
Okay.
right.
So
right,
that is provided. That is provided. And then of course there are also a lot of the reskilling, and then there's also SME digitalization grant that is only 5,000 ringgit. You spend 10,000, 5,000, government pay to a service provider, so forth. So that is only money. But for me, I always tell SMEs that when you look for government, don't only look for grant. Grant is very attractive, of course, because it's money.
Yep.
But skill, knowledge, connection, guidance, okay, business matching is as important as grant, because that would actually bring you further. Grant, when you spend it on that year, habis already, no more.
One-off lah. It's a one-off thing.
Yeah. But the thing is that when you have the connection, business matching, we have the knowledge, it will be with you long term. So a lot of the companies, they do not know how to appreciate this.
Yeah.
I
How's the
definitely
take-up rate?
agree. Yeah. That's also one of my questions. How's
How's
take-up
the
rate?
take-up rate?
Sorry?
How's the response and the take-up rate of all these grants? It
Among
seems to be there are a
the
lot of
businesses.
grants, but I seldom hear about it. Okay lah. I mean, to be
Okay,
fair,
from time to time we do lah. We get some
Yeah.
info
Okay.
from MDEC, some info from CDEC.
yeah. But
Yeah.
we are the SME, you see, extra small.
No. Okay.
Now we are
They-
also SME, the micro.
Micro.
They are different. There are different types of SME. For your type is that I am strong enough to sustain by myself. Any grant, not my issues, because I can sustain by
Wait,
myself.
who say that? Who say that? Who the one
I
grant?
don't know. Okay, I'm saying that as one group, not necessarily you. Okay, I say one group is that it would depend on myself. I do not want to wait for the government. That's good. Why wait for the
Gotcha.
government if you can do it by yourself? Okay, that's one group. Second group is that, what grant? I don't even know. Even the government announce anything, I don't care. Because why? Hey, we got chance to get the grant one. No chance one lah. Don't even want to try. So that's the
Right.
second group. Okay. Third group is that I know there is grant. Okay. But the thing is that, you look at the form, you look at how to fill in and all those the documentation you need to provide, and then it takes months or 1 year to approve. Don't waste my time. I better spend my time, go to attend a Jason class, earn some money better. Okay.
Those are the smart ones.
Okay. That one I leave it to everyone to think by yourself. Okay. Okay. But that is this kind of group. So different SMEs got different kind of mindset. Okay. But the government are doing something. Even I myself, I'm trying to help the government to reach out to the SMEs to disseminate all this information.
Yeah, I see the challenge come from two angles. To be very frank, right, I actually kind of involved in the grant application at one point of throughout my entire career, like part of the thing. But I do agree with Keng Teck, In fact, somehow or rather, after going through all this grant application process and all that, I find it a little bit too long. So, the process is one thing that is really stopping a lot of SMEs from applying. Then the second thing is really about how effective is the government in disseminating the information to the SMEs who are in need. So give us this thing, your really honest opinion, Keng Teck. We have known each other for like bloody 11 years.
Yep.
Has the thing, has these two area, any of this process changed?
Now, I have to be fair. Okay, the thing is that I have to fair to the government.
Okay.
This one, I have to fair to the government. Now, I am involved and I participated with a lot of the outreach program with the government, be it from the MITI, MATRADE, MIDA, SME Corp, CRIM, MPC, or MIDF, whatever. Now, I can say that in 1 year, every of the agencies have more than 20, 30 outreach programs. They also make the information as transparent as possible in their website.
Right.
And they also send out a lot of if you are in their database, they will send out email to inform you about that. Okay. But a lot of our SMEs do not want to spend time to actually look at the email from the government. That's one. Number two, if they go for this event to understand it, who goes? The bosses doesn't go. They send the people go. When they send the people go, the people cannot link back to the business growth.
Yep.
They're just looking at from their own work perspective. So you could ask me to attend already. Then after that, go back home, go back 5 o'clock and at 4 o'clock, I go back home. So like that, then go back home already. Then next day, nothing happened. So the information was not communicated up to the top. Okay, that's the issue. Now, in terms of the process, again, process, I have to say that it's still bloody damn slow. Okay, I can share with you. Okay, I do not want to name the agency. We helped a few customers to apply for a grant last year, July. We just
don't tell me still not yet Gautim. July, more than a year now.
July, yeah. 2 of them just approved this month.
Wow.
3 of them have not been approved yet. Okay.
Is it
business
for the
closed
lack
down
of
already, my
documentation?
friend?
No. It's still ongoing.
No, I mean, if they are really using that to grow them or actually sustain a business, Gautim already, lor.
But is it
But
because the documentation wasn't complete?
But I think these are not lah. They're actually applying for different kind of grant, right? It's more like the growth kind of grant or something or what?
Yeah,
No.
different word of grants, but it should not take that long. Okay, the process is not long. Okay, now of course, just now you mentioned that is it documentation? Most of the documentation, if it's not right, of course, it's the responsibility of the SMEs. Okay, SME doesn't know what is right or wrong. But the thing is that I believe the key reason is because that there are too many applications going in, but there are too few officers managing it. Okay, for example, now, right now, we are helping some of our clients to process this business acceleration program, BAP 3.0 right now, okay, which is ending this 30th of September, another 2 weeks window for us to apply. So the thing is that the criteria to apply is so generous, so simple. As long as you are SME, you can apply. So how many and it is 400,000 or 200,000. If you are SMEs, you know about it, you want to go and apply, right? So we got 1.2 million SME.
Holy.
Okay,
Okay.
1.2
We
million
do
SME.
have that many.
We do have that many SMEs.
1.2.
Okay. Yeah. So how many do you think that they apply? Okay.
Easily 12,000 also very jialat already.
No, I don't say 12,000. I say 1,000 only. 1,000 enough. Okay. You got 5 officers.
Wow. Okay.
So you can start to calculate that how fast can they be? You see, sometimes we also need to know the process of the government that it's not that they do not know fast. They are in the hot seat. They cannot just simply approve, because anything simply approved, they're going to be responsible. So they are short-handed, and there are so many of the SMEs applying. So we just need to wait. Of course, there are a lot of improvement to be made, like the Industry 4.0. I'm in the approval committee as well. Okay. And it was,
Right.
about more than half. 9 months. 9 months.
Right.
Then during this the COVID period, we have reduced. We have reduced to about 4 months.
Well, that's cool. That's good job.
Hey, that's a very big improvement.
Yeah,
So-
because some of the process not necessary. So we say that, hey, we imagine that I'm not a technical person. I'm evaluating a technical proposal talking about Industry 4.0. Wow, how am I going to do it? So we leave it to the expert to do
Experts.
it. But for us, we just want to make sure that the grant is going to the deserving party. That is more important.
So the long
reason.
story
Andrew.
short is we have to IR 4.0 the government first lah.
Yes.
Okay.
True enough.
They need the grant.
True enough.
No,
but the
we
thing
need
is
the
that
IR 4.0 the government first. They don't
the
need
government, yes, true enough. But again, I still think that the government side, the ministry, the relationship between the ministry, they are still not working together. Okay, so when it's cross ministry, then you have a hard time, because every ministry have their own procedure and so forth. So there's a hard time of actually having a seamless integration of that. So it takes longer.
Is there a lot of interaction in between? Or I thought that, most of the departments are actually kind of like they have their own role. Why is there so many like crossing department or crossing ministry kind of thing happening?
The grant covers cross ministries approval ma.
Yeah.
You need licensing, you need this. So that's a hybrid. So you don't have a one-stop shop. I mean, they tried doing it, but it's not that easy.
Yeah, true also. I think at the end of the day, I think Keng covers a very good, a few very good points over here, which is, I think, first thing first, I do agree with him that we have to be very fair with the, for the government as well. They're trying. I do believe that they are trying.
The heart is in the right place.
But judging from the number of months that requires to go through and all that, right? To be very frank, 11 years down the road, nothing much changed. That's what I probably want to say.
Processes.
Yeah, seriously. One of the reasons why I actually stopped looking at the grant side, not to say I don't need it. Who don't need grants, right? Who don't need all this help coming from the government? But the process of it is a little bit daunting, to be frank. But I'm not sure, among our audiences, any one of you have gone through any experience applying for grants, or if there's any grants that you're looking out, you're trying to understand more, in fact, Keng Teck is the best person that you can ask, because as he mentioned just now, he actually is involved in a lot of those so-called all these agencies and all that. He's also in the advising board in a lot of government agencies as well, working directly with the government. And, of course, he is also an insider that knows them a lot. In fact, among the people that I know, I think this guy knows the most. I open his email sometimes. Most of the time he talks about all the grants and all that. In fact, most of the time I get the grants information from him. So if you guys want to find out more, right, let me do the quick plug over here. I think this is very important. You want to find out more about, you want to learn more about the grants or what things are available for my industry, I think Keng Teck, would you be open to help? So I'm actually putting your what do we call your email out, or your LinkedIn is there. Actually, anyone wants to connect with Keng Teck, you can actually email him, or you can just add him on LinkedIn. But nonetheless, let's see is there's anything coming from the audience side.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Chiwai, sorry, I missed that.
Yes, I wanted to shout out to Chiwai. He has been with us for episode number 1. 52
Since
weeks,
episode number 1, right?
Since episode number 1. 52 weeks down the road, 1 year, he's still with us. So Chiwai, thank you so much for your support.
Yeah, I give you a trophy lah. When the dust wind down, we go one round drink. And Richard was saying need to hire Andrew to improve email open rate. Probably I do believe so. Yeah. Okay. Keng Teck, I think we lost your mic. Can you plug yourself back?
We can't hear you.
Yeah, Keng Teck, we can't hear you. Are you with us? Let's give him some time. I think he has.
Yep. Let him go.
Maybe connection issue. I can see that things are blurring
Keng
out a
Teck is
little bit.
moving towards IR 5.0. So
yeah, that's probably kind of like a different level kind of thing.
Yeah.
So while we're waiting for that, right? Let me go through some of the questions coming in.
Yep.
Okay, like we do have a few things coming in. Like Richard was asking, can expedite with the right consultants and consultation fee. That's what I've been experiencing. I think that's a good one. Maybe we can ask Keng Teck about. Maybe he has got some consultation fee as well. I don't know. Maybe that's one of his business. Maybe we can ask him. And Xiuai said, SME Corp, as the Chinese say, colder than water. Really? Okay, I never tried that.
Yeah.
Top fan batch, you're not, man. Tell me
you're
not.
top fan already.
You're not my top fans on my Facebook page, man. I only have a few top fans. I think you are one of them, right? No? Let me go and double check while waiting for Keng Teck to come back. So by guys, nonetheless, this is the link. You can actually add Keng Teck, or you can just email him if there is anything. Let me quickly text Keng Teck. But guys, if you have any question, right? I think Keng Teck is doing some.
He's trying to get connected back.
Yeah, trying to reconnect.
Post your questions here.
Let me bring him back. Okay, now he's back.
Yes.
Can you hear us? Okay.
Yes,
That's good.
Sorry.
Awesome. Hey, while you're away, people are asking for your fee. But
What fee?
No. They're asking. Is this true? Because Richard was saying can be expedited. I mean, with the right consultant and consultation fee. Is that true?
No.
No.
Okay. Now, yes and no. Basically, over here is that I have to say this. Okay, because we help some of the companies to do the grant as well, but we encourage the companies to do it by themselves. Only if they cannot do it by themselves, they come to us. That's the first thing. Okay. In all of my slides, I will tell them that government agencies doesn't appoint any panel agent or approved consultant to do the things for you. That's number one. Number two is that if there is anyone who tells you that I can guarantee you that you will get it, don't use their services because they are lying. Okay?
Right.
Okay. Number three, if they say that they can expedite it, possible if you have the right consultant as well, but it's not because of under-table money. It's not because of what, but it is because that they know the process well. Okay? Because you have to understand that the government, when they actually get all this grant approved, it's not by individuals who is approving it. Once you submitted the application, it goes to the officers who run through your documentations, make sure everything is there sufficient. Then they will summarize. They will go to a technical committee. The technical committee deliberate. Oh yeah, this company should get it. Is in line with our policy and so on. Then they will actually recommend to a steering committee. Then there might be another approval committee. So, and each of the committee, there are 20 odd people to 30 people. How are you going to guarantee? No way that you can guarantee that you will get the grant. Okay. So the only thing that the consultants like us, what we do is that we know the process well. We know what they wanted to hear, what they wanted to see in our application. That's all.
Fair. I mean, if it sounds too good, it's definitely not true.
And Chiwai has as a response to, I think, to Richard's comment over here. Chiwai was saying Richard's idea is quite good. If there is such consultancy service that involves any chargeable charge rate, on all means, just to make an application more smooth, fast, and compliant.
Yeah.
But I think I agree with what Keng Teck was saying. you have to look for those people who really know the process well. Is there any way that we can judge? Is there any criteria, or is there any way? First thing first, Keng Teck's face lah, one of them. That's the guy who knows the process lah. If you guys need help, then he knows the process. But other than that, like I think what Keng Teck mentioned just now was really good. If somebody say that you sure can get it, then it's a liar lah. It's a scam lah.
Definitely.
For sure, it's a scam lah. Nobody can say that, right? Not even the minister.
Nobody can say that. Even the government officer or the directors themselves
right?
cannot say that. Because why? Because at times when the agencies is processing it, the money doesn't come down. Meaning that allocation of the budget, the EPU or the finance ministry,
Treasury
the money.
Yeah.
But suddenly sorry, money cannot come down. Then they cannot do anything. Yeah. So even
is there such thing? Does that happen often?
Yes.
Like as in like you get approved, but the money cannot come down.
Oh no, it's not that you approve money cannot come down before you approve. Meaning that while they are reviewing that time, not enough money for them to approve. But once you have approved already, the money guarantee is there.
So
Same thing, lor. Even like us in businesses or companies, every year you prepare budget for your boss, then boss sign off and say, okay, approve. But when it comes to spending, the boss may not necessarily approve one. Year-end budget, sure, approve one. I say, okay, good. This is our budget. Come June, July, I say, boss, I thought you approved already. No. Later.
Okay.
That's life.
So like, okay, now Richard was saying the show needs grunt to improve in front. Can also, can we apply for that? like Chua was saying that get green screen. Don't want. I like my background. I don't want green screen.
I spent so much money on my hamburger. Hey, how can man?
Then I have to comment, CY. I have to comment. For your information, last year I applied for the grant. I got my camera. I got my green screen. I got my lighting. I got my mic and so forth.
Serious?
And my justification is that, hey, I'm in consulting. I'm in training. I cannot move to any other states. My client need to see me.
You didn't tell me.
I need that.
You should have told
us.
You
didn't tell us. Like, all of us get a new set of things over here already, man. And the new gears and everything. You see, I spent for all this myself. Oh my god.
You didn't invite me to Penang to eat
No, I'm not in Penang, my friend. I'm in KL now.
MCO.
I'm in DJ. How to go? Like, okay, but that's a good one. That shows like Chua was saying can really get one. Now you know, right? You want to get new mic or something like that, watch out to Keng Teck's Facebook page or LinkedIn profile. As and when he actually talk about, you can actually get a new mic or green screen and camera and all that, and then talk to him. Okay? And Richard was saying, just a thought, more SMEs are not technically savvy on government documentations, paperwork and processes, not to mention most of them, the time I spend, in the businesses itself, it's already disqualified most SME. No? What do you think?
Well, the thing is that I definitely agree that they are not familiar with the government documentation and paperwork and the process. That is for sure. And even they have applied, they're also worried to call the officer to ask for status. A lot of them, they don't call officer, no. They ask, Keng Teck, can you ask the MIDA, see my application how? I said, why don't you call? Nanti I tak tahu, tak faham, I do not know what they will say and so forth. So ask me, and I have to ask the officer. So they are afraid of the government. That's one thing, because they don't understand. Okay, but this already disqualified most SMEs. Not really, because we have a term which is called grantpreneur. Okay, grantpreneur. What is grantpreneur? So these are the companies that their business is chasing grant one.
Grants.
They will know all the grants, all the ministry, everything. They would have a dedicated 1 or 2 people just to apply grant. Okay, so they are called grantpreneurs.
Speaking about grantpreneur, right? I want to talk about something. I know a few people back then when I was younger that time. They really apply multiple grants and they gotten really out of it.
Yeah.
They're so good at getting grants. I don't know what they have and all that. They get grants, they start a business, run to the ground, get another grant, start another business, run into the ground. Is this thing still exist?
Yes, but it's not that easy anymore.
Wow.
because government
Thank
also
God.
get level after so many years. So even like a lot of people say, a lot of SMEs very creative, right? Malaysian SME very creative one. Hey, can I just mark up double then basically I don't need to come out with any money can This one I
You
just
say
ask my
50%
friend.
and mark up double counting already.
Then I just actually get him to issue the receipt No need to pay money also can get receipt count him already Yeah, you think the government so stupid Okay, right now they even check your statement, your bank statement. Make sure that you actually pay out. Okay, make sure that you actually pay out. Okay, so if you want to just mark up more, hey, imagine they got thousands of application. Let's say it is for the something that is standard price one. You cannot mark up one because they know. Okay,
Everybody has
one tip
it. Right?
One tip is that video. There's no pricing. That's all I want to say.
Okay. And consulting.
Let's not give them ideas.
Consulting, most of the time, government don't give grants for consulting most of the time because it is very much intangible and very hard for them to review.
Very subjective,
Yeah, very subjective.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, let's move to the second question. Can you imagine we're only at the second question?
Well, 41 minutes.
What happened?
Seconds.
What just happened, man? In the last 41 minutes, what just happened? Okay, look, I think this is a very interesting question. Is there a difference between digitalization and digital transformation or / change management? This is coming from Manfred. You want to elaborate? You've been quiet today.
I got all this what is all this bombastic word constipation already.
No, go ahead.
I think all these words is just that the technology service provider coming up with all these jargons, all these words to earn money. It's actually the same for me. Okay, it's just that it's just marketing and branding Okay, I market it as that breakfast meal. Actually, it's just something says nasi lemak is a breakfast meal. Okay, so they're just packaging it as a digitalization transformation whatever. So that is why that the SMEs are very confused right now. Okay, is this considered digitalization? Is this considered IR4? Is it considered Industry 4.0? Is it considered in terms of the software? So they are very confused. SMEs, they are not well versed with digitalization, and there are so many different terms. They are confused whether it's relevant to them or not. So again, I will actually tell them that don't care about whatever digitalization, whatever transformation, as long as you use technology to improve your process of your company to make yourself more competitive. That is digital transformation.
I like that. I like the way you simplify the whole thing. But I think somehow or rather, do you think that the industry, as in the players need something more centralized to find out more about this thing? Is there such thing? Except Keng Teck huh? Is there any organization?
SME organization, I think they do that, right?
Is that like the SME association or whatnot? Yeah. Do you guys do all these things, or is there anyone doing something like that?
I'm going to do something like that Okay.
Now,
Okay.
You guys hear it first here.
Who is going to do it? Because you can see when you go out, there are a lot of people offering a lot of services. Okay, let's say e-commerce onboarding in terms of the SEO SMO, whatever kind of things okay. So you need to choose by services. But the thing is that the SMEs right now is that I do not know what I need. I do not know what can help me most. So I do not know which one to go to. So the first thing is that you must tell me that what will be my pain points, what will be my challenges right now, and what is relevant to me. Then I can actually identify. I think this kind of the services is right for me. That services is right for me. But many of them still don't understand. So I come back to the Industry 4.0. The adoption of the Industry 4.0 is so slow. Okay, even the technology service provider have challenges in terms of the closing their sales because they just wait and see. They are afraid they cannot see the ROI. So what I'm doing right now together with some this Industry 4.0 service provider is that I'm teaming them up. That instead of you doing it by yourself, I'm coming out with a series of the webinar, a central website that have the content of that. If I wanted to progress, digitalize, what will be the pain points that I have, that what will be the relevant technology? Why should I have that? If I want to start, who should I look for? Where should I look for? Start from there, combine all those technology service providers into the site so that they can do the business. But at least the SMEs knows who should they look for. So that's something that is coming up very soon.
I think that's good. That's good. At least something that people can at least find more information or more centralized information. Else things is gonna be like very messy. I totally agree with you that a lot of
I think that's an excellent approach. I just took a note down because I think even in marketing is when you start describing the pain, because most of them don't know. So when you say that if you've got headache, this is what you do. If you got leg pain, this is what you do. Because if you just say that do you have pain, the fellow say what pain? Or do you have rheumatism? They will say what rheumatism. But if you describe, and I think that will definitely help a lot of SMEs because they know the symptoms or they understand the symptoms. So start from the symptoms and you work your way all the way to the problems. Good.
Correct. But I want to add one more point. SMEs also need to see a lot of the case studies to win their confidence because they have not tried before. These new things. They want to see how people have used it, have they actually benefited from it. So the more case studies that comes in, they can see that how other fellows, let's say for example, if I am in SME, you ask me to go and do digitalization of Industry 4.0, I also do not know where to start. There's so many things. But if I see that, hey, the other fellow FMB company, they use the technology to actually solve their packaging problem. Hey, I also got packaging problem, so maybe I can also adopt. So it's easy for them to relate. So the case study will be very much helpful to them.
Okay. But just a side track. Sorry, my friend, go ahead.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, just a side track. This Malaysia Day is tomorrow, so we are technically 61? Malaysia
64.
64.
What? 64? That long?
Yeah. 1963 and 1957. Okay, if you say 1957 is 61 already, right?
Okay.
So these SMEs now should already step into the second or third generation. That means their sons or their daughters should be taking over or at least got involved in the business.
Yes.
This generation would be advising their parents about this already, isn't it?
You think that is that easy?
Because prior to this, I was just in a networking session and I spoke to a lady. And the parents' business is into label printing and all those things. So it's a very old business. But she pivoted and then she set up her own company to do online sticker printing using the same back-end technology, but the approach is online and she's doing so well. You can order online, upload your graphics and all those things, and within 7 days, they will send you the sticker. Especially when you do e-commerce and all those things, your wrappers and all those things will send by you. And back-end is still sticker printing, a factory just printing the paper and putting on sticker. But the approach is different. So my question is, the children should be telling them how they should change their business by now, isn't it?
True.
Cannot communicate.
True, but father would always say that, son, daughter, the company is yours. So it's for you. You're going to take charge lah. You're going to be the CEO. Okay, you decide on the things. You decide the direction. But when you want to do it that time, how come you didn't ask me? You think that you're very smart lah? Okay. You just spend money like that lah. Okay. A lot of the family business faces issue. That's why that high number. Why do we have so many entrepreneurs right now? Because high number of them, even they have multi-million business behind them, ready for them to be the CEO. They do not want. They just wanted to be an entrepreneur because that's a freedom of their own thoughts. And the first generation are not letting go enough. That's the problem.
Okay. All right.
That's very true. Right. Manfred, finally, your turn, please.
Yes.
Oh, today very difficult to get on.
Hey, between
I
two
want to
purple
know.
guy, one person talk the other one, but shut up already, no choice. That's life.
I want to talk. Who is that?
Come. We all mute ourselves. You talk.
Okay, we mute.
I was busy coughing just now. Okay. So just want to add on the SME part because I'm doing some consulting courses under BCG, sorry. Okay. They mentioned something about you need to really define the problem, generate hypothesis, plan and conduct analysis, then delivery key insight. Basically, when I tell all these things to some of my friends, I no need one, just straight away do can already. But you set your interview questions, you interview the people. Even normally you do. I also have a very bad habit of do Google form, SMS everyone, get all the data, then this is the data. Then I was told wrong. That's not the right way to do it. You need to form out the questions, interview people, even have one more person as observer to collect the data. Because you're trying to describe the problem. Then a lot of the stakeholders are saying, I do 40 years already. You think I don't know the problem? Sorry, you don't know. Seriously, that's a fact. Yeah. So the problem can be so multifaceted. It's not so easy. And once you buy it out, the case study is a shortcut. But if you do it this way, you will even understand. You get to know your business in another angle. Okay.
Oh,
Finish. That's it.
See?
Manfred, you're definitely correct. That is what they need. But okay, that is what they need. But before that, you are able to actually get them to do that. For SME, I have been with SME for so long. Before you are able to get them to do that, first thing first, you need to win their trust. You really need to win their trust. Once you won their trust, the business owner, the first generation, balance of it, no issue at all. They will listen to you more than they listen to their kids.
That's true.
That's very true. Right.
Only
Richard
the
was
trust,
saying children second gen also difficult. Like this is the father's thinking lah. Do so many years, make money. You first few months, don't try to be smart. It's kind of like something very similar. But Richard was saying something very interesting, right? Like this is also some dilemma among the industry. I think Keng Teck also mentioned about this. When you want to do digitalization, right, or whatever, the challenge for the big company and small company alike is that some employee will actually stop you from progressing. Because they worry that if they adopt these things, they will lose their job or they get shaken up, they become redundant. Okay, so that's one thing. And the boss also afraid to actually to strike a balance because they may not want to actually offend the employees as well. Do you face this kind of situation a lot, Keng Teck?
A lot. I think that is the main issue for the digital adoption among the SMEs. That is the main issue actually. Because right now is that the employee, why is it happening? Because there's no proper planning. Most of the SMEs, they see that the digital transformation is a technology project, which is not. It is a business transformation project. So when they view it as a technology project, they just suddenly put on the technology over there. Of course, if I'm an employee right now, where am I going to go? So for the companies to adopt, to do transformation, they have to actually get the people ready to upskill them, and they will be the employee will be told that once the technology comes, number one, it is your job. You do not need to do so many things. That is not the end. You will be able to do higher value job, easier job, okay, higher value job, and you can actually earn more. That is something that a lot of SMEs didn't communicate, and that is why that they are in between. They didn't do anything and they stopped that.
I think one very important thing is try to do away the mundane, repeated, no thinking job to automate the thing and make your brain think. Because one thing machine cannot replace human is creativity, or in short, Kengness. Yeah, we need you to think out of the box, which a lot of people don't want because they've been doing this for donkey years. They want it this way, so there's a lot of resistance, and it's not easy. But if you don't do it, you'll be really phased out. Then that's a bigger problem.
I tell you one news that it will be very scary to a lot of the SMEs over here, especially those in manufacturing. Those in manufacturing, most of y'all would have this manufacturing license that you apply from the MIDA and MITI. Okay,
Yes.
it is an act. Okay, it's an act. ICA something like that. ICA 10 something like that. Now, in that act, the government says that you have to have with that license by end of 2022, you need to have 80% local, maximum 20% foreign workers. Maximum 20%. If you cannot comply by end of December 2022, you might lose your manufacturing license.
Wow.
The question will be, how many currently of the Malaysian companies, okay, are having the workers are mostly local. Most of them mostly
Is this a new act?
foreigners.
Last
Sorry?
year or this year?
It's not a new
Last year
act,
or this
right?
year? 2020 or 2022?
2022. You're saying
2022.
December.
Or 22.
It's not a new
Yeah.
act, right?
It's not a new act. It has been there, just that last time they have actually postponed the date already, and it's already
I see.
postponed to 2022. But
Right,
frankly, for me, I strongly believe that
It will postpone again.
Malaysia is not ready for that.
I
There
also
will be
believe
some
it.
amendments. Yeah.
I also agree. So I think that's something that, okay lah, in case if you're a manufacturing company, then in that case, then you probably want to watch out for this thing and start doing something. We do not know what will happen, but of course we all know that like it has been postponed. We don't know whether it will be postponed again. But yet again, I agree. We may not be ready for that, in that sense. But I think Richard was saying like the business transformation. Also, employee will be scared lah. Perhaps refrain the owner as a business legacy planning. I like the way Keng Teck mentioned, like puts it in terms of like helping not just the employees, but you also have to communicate that very effectively to the employees as well. I think that's one thing, and upskill them. At the same time, telling them is one thing, helping them to grow, that's another thing. But yet again, like Richard was saying, the skill set is mundane stuff, but the employees sure resist because the employees may not want to learn computer when they are above 50s. But that's something also a very serious problem among, right?
A lot of jobs will be made redundant. You like it or you don't like it. You go and hide inside Africa also will affect you. I'm not joking. Seriously.
Africa very advanced, right?
Okay. Hide in Antarctica. You hide in Arctic, hide in Antarctica will still affect you. Okay, Ken? Still start with A, okay? But the thing is,
Give chance.
Yeah,
but the thing is,
we have to acknowledge that the people would need to acknowledge that you have no choice. The world is changing. You have no choice. It's just like the pandemic when it comes. You have no choice. You just have to wear mask. You have no choice already. The world has changed.
most likely like cashier. Next time, really self checkout. Most likely the lorry truck driver, automatic.
You don't talk about this lah. Even China was reporting the ATM usage is also declining like nobody's business. What is ATM to them also they don't know already.
They are doing face recognition or go KFC, show their face, you swipe the card or use the face. Soon, I give you 10 years.
I think the greatest compliment to a technology is you see it working without actually seeing it. It's hidden behind. That's the best or most effective use of technology.
Yeah.
But if they say that the older generation above 50 they don't want to learn computers, I think that's BS lah. You ask any other grandmother now, they will have a smartphone.
Oh, of course.
That thing is a computer. They can do WhatsApp. They can do video call.
And I think to round up to today's discussion, I think one thing that SMEs definitely would have to recognize is that you can't really wait for the government to come and help you. In fact, the digitalization really starts from within, because like what Manfred said, whether you like it or not, a lot of things are going to change. The world is changing. If you're not changing, then get ready to be to be gotten rid of, to be phased out. That's a very simple thing. So digitalization or digital transformation, or whatever digital what at the end of the day is just a term. Ultimately, it's about how do you progress as a business, because it's already like IR 4.0 to Industry 4.0. That's the kind of a thing that definitely we will have to face it. But before we go, Keng Teck, I want to ask you this thing. If there's any advice you want to give to SMEs out there, can you actually give us one, one statement or one actually advice? But before that, I would like to bring up Manfred to talk about his website of the week.
Do we have a website of the week today?
We do have.
Oh, okay,
I'm
cool.
just gonna go through the website of the week. Well,
Let's
before
do that.
that, after that, then we will come back for one
we'll
advice.
give you a
for
couple of
Keng
minutes
Teck
to think about it.
on this thing. Yeah.
That's
okay. Manfred, I'm gonna put it up in the comment. You go ahead and bring up the screen. All right.
Yep.
Okay. Can you all see the thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
This one is myro.com. So remember back in when we are working in the office, you can see the whiteboard, you can see progress, you can put sticker, post-it sticker, online version. This is the online version. This is extremely good if your office is actually in different time zone. So example, Malaysia, Singapore do the thing already.
Right.
You go and sleep, the US colleague can kind of see what you have done, especially discussion, wireframe, so on and so forth. I'm using this one. So I'll just roughly go through this. See, you can do a lot of things. You can say who has done this progress. You can do your scrum. Okay. Progress, done, pending, so on and so forth. Just pull the sticker. So basically what you do it offline, you can put it online. And they have getting a lot of features right now into the thing. You can even talk to people. Okay.
Wow. That's cool.
So basically, I think no need to do a live demonstration, but basically there is such a tool, know that it's moved online already because pandemic, okay? And you can go to the website myro.com to take a look. I believe the initial usage should be free.
Right.
Okay,
right.
that's all.
Oh, this is
Awesome.
good.
Thank you so much, Manfred. As usual, Manfred always do a good job for his website of the week. And
Without a doubt.
thank you so much with that, Neil. Without a doubt, definitely. But back to Keng Teck, before we go, what would be your final advice, to the SMEs out there?
For me, I would say that SMEs would really have no choice but to transform ourselves. But talking about transform is not only about transform digitally. I always say that when you do the transformation, you need to consider the three main aspects, which is the people, process, and technology. These three aspects. And when you have this people, process, technology, what you need to do is that you need to plan it out in terms of the 1 year. When are you going to make such investment or the transformation? Because when you have already planned it out, then you will be able to match it with what the government have in the pipeline for you, so that you can reduce your cost in your transformation journey. Because without that, even the government, no matter what government give to you, you do not know whether it's relevant to you, whether you have time to actually apply for it, because suddenly it comes and you're not ready. So you will not be able to benefit from it. And doing transformation, a lot for us SMEs, it is a high risk because you are going to somewhere, it's a new journey over that side. But if we wanted to reduce that risk, meaning that if we can plan it out, we can leverage from what government giving us, it is actually reducing our risk, and you can actually go further or have more time to actually reach your destination, or more fuel to reach your destination compared to the other fellow industry players. And that would win you the competitive advantage. Thank you.
Awesome.
That's
Manfred.
Yes.
Life is like business. It's a marathon, not a sprint. It's not that today I discover, I never do this. I sprint, I run fast. Then I can catch up. The past 10 years, I never do this thing. Sorry, it doesn't work this way. If you for the past 10 years, you never do anything. You work, you don't sleep, you don't eat. 1 year doesn't cover you 10 years. As simple as that. So you don't know what you don't know. You don't know what you don't know. You better go and find out.
The wise man has spoken.
That's the gray hair, Manfred.
Yes.
That's the gray hair talking. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome, well, guys. I think that will brings us to the end of this show. This
That's a good one.
We have to really thank Keng Teck for joining us tonight to really share with us so much useful insights, be it coming from the association part of it, the SME, or the representative in the government side, to actually give us more insights coming from whatever information that we can get from the government side. Thank you so much for joining us. And guys, nonetheless, if you want to connect with Keng Teck, this is the email that we have and the link that you can actually go over and add him and connect with him and ask any questions that you need. like what Keng Teck say, start thinking about the process, start looking at in your business, what are the things that you want to change, get yourself ready. Then only you look out for all the possible kind of like helps out there that government have or whatever plan they have for you. All right. So that
People,
brings us
process,
to the
technology.
Yeah, people, process, technology. That's the best one. All right, guys, that'll bring us to the end of the show. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, and I'll see you next week, same time, Wednesday at 10 p.m. We have a guest. We have a very interesting guest. So join us next week to talk about different digital related topic. Thank you, Keng Teck, for joining us tonight, and
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, guys. Have a good night.